Tamara wrote in, I had a leak from my bathroom shower that went into my basement. When we noticed the leak, it had already caused a lot of damage. It is from a sudden broken tile in the floor, we believe. The insurance company is saying even though we had no idea that the leak was happening, it's old damage and therefore it's not covered. Has anyone had this issue, and is there any way to get them to cover it? I'm Mendy with my insurance claims expert here to answer your question. So, it's a great question. For starters, understand just because the insurance company says they don't owe you money does not make that true. We have seen many cases where insurance carriers have told our clients that the claim is not for a covered loss or that the policy doesn't owe for it. That doesn't make it true. The two things that are always going to govern is what the policy says and what state law says. That being said, there's a number of questions to ask over here based on what you are saying. Number one is, you say there's a sudden broken tile. How did the tile break? What caused it to break? How soon after it broke did you notice that it was damaged? When did damage begin showing up downstairs? And what made the carrier say that it's old damage? Okay, these are all great questions to help you start asking and determining if you have a good claim here or not. So, again, the two things that are going to determine whether you have a covered loss or not is going to be the policy and state law. So here's several areas to delve into a little bit. Number one, let's take a look at the policy and see what it says. How long after a loss do you have to file a claim? Okay, in some states it may be 1 year, maybe 2 year, maybe 3 year, maybe 5 year. Okay, but your policy and the state law is going to dictate how soon you must report that claim. Second, did you take steps to stop the damage from continuing? And what does the policy say as far as if you didn't, or how soon you have to take? For example, in Florida, it's very common to say 14 days, within 14 days of the loss occurring, you must take steps to mitigate damage. What does that mean, mitigate damage? Well, let's say there's a hole in your roof. It means putting a tarp over it. If the pipe breaks, you need to fix that pipe, or at least turn off that pipe so it doesn't continue to leak. Now, if 14 days is what it says, so if it leaks for 13 days straight, damaging the house severely, that would be covered under this policy. Now, what if it goes on and leaks for 30 days? Well, the policy would owe for the damage that happened from the first 14 days. So let's say in the first 14 days it damages your kitchen, dining room, living room, and that's all the damage that occurs. And then because it's sitting there for 20 days, now it extends to other rooms. Those other rooms the insurance company wouldn't owe you for. They do owe for the damages that incurred during the first 14 days. Moving along, what if the damage was hidden? Okay, so let's just say it was leaking through that tile, through the floor, into the ceiling above, but it didn't come through the ceiling till a few weeks later or a month later. Okay, well, again, many times policies will have a clause that say that if the damage is hidden, it'll be covered. Okay, so even though you didn't catch it within the first 14 days, let's say, if it has that clause, you would be covered because it's hidden damage. You couldn't have known. And finally, what happens if you have damage to an area that was already damaged? Okay, so understand, let's say the area was damaged previously. The insurance company doesn't owe you for what was damaged 3 years ago, okay? Unless you were filing a claim based on 3 years ago and it was still within that time period. But just because the leak happened here and 3 years ago damage happened, they wouldn't owe you for that. However, if we have new damage, which you probably do have new damage, okay, new water stains, new swelling, whatever it is, the insurance company owes you for that new damage. Now, if the only way to repair that new damage is by repairing the old damage as well, then your insurance company probably owes you to repair that old damage as well. Thanks for your questions. If you have questions, please email them to Emily@pantherpa.com and we will get them featured here. Have a great day.